What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pub Sports Radio and welcome to the Draftkings Picks and Predictions Show. We got UFC Vegas 91, Matheus Nicolau going against Alex Perez. We have a 13-fight card here. Just got a new fight added, I think, Monday or Tuesday. And yeah, I'm actually liking this card from a DraftKings perspective. I think we'll get some fun fights, some finishes as well. I am here with Weezy, Lou, and Monk. We'll start with... What? Okay.
You said my name, so I did this.
Oh, I thought you were doing like what? Like what? I don't know. But we'll kick it to you first, Lou. Lou, thanks for coming on. The times that you have came on for Weezy, you've been crushing it. So looking forward to continuing the success.
Yeah, but Weezy's in America now, so I'm probably gonna suck.
Yeah.
I think I'm only good when Weezy's abroad. I actually like this fight card. I know it's like I get some people are crapping on it, but it's a little low level, but it's actually kind of interesting and fun. And I like my lineup for this week, and I like a lot of the ways that I'm playing this card. So
looking forward to hearing some of your thoughts. We got sorry, I'm just thinking of your pre-show outfit. Pre-show.
Tune in tomorrow night at midnight for what that outfit is.
We'll see if Lou has any is it Russian energy drinks or is it
No,
German?
I'm drinking coffee. I am drinking coffee.
Oh boy. Okay. We got Monk in the building with a nice hat. The Hat Gang. What is up, Monk? Any trains this week?
There was, but it was super short. We got blessed this week. Super short line, super short train. We are all good. So yeah, the hat's on because as I've said 100 times on this show, as a bald guy, the more hair you have, the balder you look. So the hat is on. It's kind of similar to this card. I think this card kind of is wearing a hat a little bit, especially after 300. But like Lou said, it's kind of sneaky, especially for DraftKings. Super low level fights all around, so you can't really fade a ton of people. Should be interesting this week, so I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, and last but not least, we got our Uncle Weezy. Uncle Weezy, you looking forward to this card?
I am. I think there's a lot of fun fights on this card. There's a couple of pretty hilariously low-level fights on the card as well. We got Na Liang back. That's always a plus. I mean, every damn time she's on the card, I have fun watching her get her ass shaved out there after she gasses after 3 minutes. It's going to be a treat, you guys. And plus, we had a week off, so I'm chomping to get back at it here and make some money and bathe in the blood of my vanquished DraftKings enemies. And that all starts with this show on Wednesday night. So I'm ready to go, Brady.
Let's do it. Before we get into it, if you guys could please do us a favor, like the video, subscribe here to Pub Sports. We go live every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Gordo should be back, I think, next week. I think he has finals. So best of luck to Gordo with his finals. Hopefully everything goes well. But yeah, let's check out the chat. We got Lou Betcha in the building. What is up, Lou? We got Dixon Cider in the room. We got Real Sports Bet, and then we have Dr. Stinknugs. Let's get it, Dr. Stinknugs. All right, I say we get into it. We're going to start with the fight to target. We have plenty of fun fights to target, I think. Let's start with our Uncle Weezy. Uncle Weezy, what is your favorite fight to target for UFC Vegas 91?
I had a couple written down, but I mean, why not just go with Pierce and Onama? I mean, those guys really put up big numbers. I've got a spreadsheet in front of me here. Jonathan Pierce scores 5.56 DraftKings points per minute, and he allows 2.5. And David Onama scores 3.7 DraftKings points per minute, and he allows 4.52. So both of these guys are in extremely high-scoring fights. For instance, David Onama's fights, when you add up both fighters' end scores of the fight, totals up to 143 points. For Pierce, it's 139. The next highest on the card is 130 with Liang Na, and everything else is in the low 120s, high 110s. So when you look at Onama and Pierce, they're both super high volume, big pace guys. So whether the fight finishes inside the distance or not, the winner is probably scoring triple digits. So yeah, this is a great fight to target. And 8,600 and 7,600 as well. This is a great one.
Yep. I think it's a really, really fun fight to target. For me, I'm going to go with the co-main event, another fight that I think is going to be very, very fun. It's Ryan Spann going against Bogdan Guskov. The fight doesn't go to decision is minus 800, anywhere from that to like minus 1,000 even, and rightfully so. Like when Ryan Spann's winning fights, it's typically in that first round, and all Guskov really does is win in the first round. I don't really see Guskov winning anyway outside of that first round, and maybe in like a couple minutes. But yeah, I think these guys are going to throw down. I was listening to Guskov's media day interview, and really Ryan Spann is. I think something's really wrong with these guys, especially Ryan Spann. I think something's seriously off with him. Not only his outfit at media day, but I don't know. I just feel like this fight's going to end in the first 5 minutes. I feel like both these guys have no regard to their own safety, especially Guskov, and I think somebody's getting served here early on. So, Lou, what is your favorite fight to target?
No.
Well, my favorite fight to target was Spann Guskov, but for the sake of the show, I will move to another one that I had, and that's Diniz and Lane. I think Austen Lane stinks. I like what I see from Diniz at 9,000 for a round one KO. He's probably getting 120 some points. I think you wanted his side there. And on the Lane side, we haven't seen Diniz's takedown defense tested. And if Lane decides to go for takedowns here, grinds him out, maybe gets a late finish, he's going to get takedown equity at 7,200. Any win he gets is easily 10xing his salary. So prefer Guskov Spann for meme reasons, but I think Diniz Lane is another fight that you probably have to be pretty heavy on.
Yeah, another fight that's very heavily favored to end, not only inside the distance, like under 1.5, I think is like minus 280. Monk, which fight are you targeting heaviest for UFC Vegas 91?
Love those fights. I'll go with Medić and Means. I really like this fight, especially for DraftKings. I do happen to think that Medić is probably a tad bit overpriced at 9,100, but really comparing him to who's on the card, that's kind of difficult to say. That just means that if Means does win at 7,100, he's got a very good chance to be optimal. Really, the reason I like this fight is if you look at their finish rates, Uroš has never been to decision. He's got 11 pro fights. All of them have come inside the distance. Meanwhile, Tim Means has basically a Jim Miller amount of fights, 25 wins out of 33 inside the distance. 9 losses out of 15 have also been inside the distance. So a vast majority, obviously, of Tim Means' million fights have also finished inside the distance. And he's been, I believe, subbed in 2 out of his last 3 losses, once by Holland and then by Morono. So I'm not saying Uroš Medić is going to necessarily sub him, especially since Uroš loves to get beat up in the first 7 minutes, which is why I like to play Means at 7,100. But if he rolls in after that, kind of like he did against Semmelsberger, and I mean, should I do it, guys? My titty back oral boy, then yeah, I think he got it as a good chance to score here. So give me the Medić and Means fight for a fight to target.
All right, yeah, 4 incredible fights there. I think those are some of the best fights on the card. But let's go to the fights to fade, and I'll kick us off because I think this is the worst fight on the card. And I'm going with the Caio Machado Dontel Mays fight. I just don't see myself putting either of these guys in my lineup. I mean, Caio Machado, if anything, maybe him just because he's very, very high volume. But even then, no takedown upside. And it's weird to say it's a heavyweight fight, but no finishing upside. Like Caio Machado doesn't have really much power at all. I think this fight goes to decision. It's probably greasy and it probably doesn't score well. So I'm fading the Machado Mays fight, and it's probably going to be awful to watch as well as a fan. Monk, which fight are you fading for this week?
Yeah, that's definitely number 1 on my sheet. Like I kind of alluded to before, even some of the, the more generic, like what people would label shittier fights are pretty good still for DraftKings. So I didn't really get a huge list. I'll just give you the only other fight I had, and I really don't know how I feel about fading it, but I'll give you Victor Henry and Yahya simply because I do think Henry has a chance, obviously, to put up a big score here. Yahya, looks like he's just under 50, but in fact, just under 40. Cheapest fighter on the card, and Henry lands a ton of volume. But when Yahya fights, he does not hardly give up any striking at all. 2.4 against Jackson, 2.8 against Kang, less than half a strike a minute against Rodriguez, 3.8, 3.6. So he's not giving up a ton of strikes, whereas Henry is used to landing 12, 10, 5 strikes a minute, 4 strikes a minute in his fight. So it could get slowed down a little bit. Henry being the most expensive fighter on the card and probably winning, maybe by decision, maybe doesn't pay it off. I'm kind of thinking. So yeah, give me a slight fade on this one, but honestly, for me, it was the Machado and the Mace fight as well.
Yeah, that Henry fight's definitely an interesting one, kind of weird
Yeah.
one there. Lou, which fight are you fading for this week?
I guess Brady got my notes.
I did.
For all these. I mean, I think the Machado Mays one clearly is a good fade, but this is a tricky one. I don't want to fade this. I really don't want to fade this one completely, but the next on my list was Austen, Hubbard, and Michael Figlak. Hubbard's not like a guy going for tons of takedowns. First of all, they're both mid-range salaries here. So, you need about 80 points easily for to cover your salary here. Figlak's a striker. I think he's kind of overrated from Cage Warriors. Like, I don't think he's that great. And Hubbard is like fringe UFC level. He's not going to go for a ton of takedowns. This is probably going to be a 15-minute striking fest. The over's juiced. I think it's minus 260, over 2.5. So they're even telling you, I think it's probably just a striking decision. I can't see the winner really scoring more than 70, 75 here. So I would fade that fight. But I can't stress enough, Mays Machado, just like Monk and Brady said, it's totally a fight I'm fading.
Oh, what a terrible, just a terrible, awful fight. Weezy, which fight are you fading for this week?
Dude, how did I go last and still got to say Sosa man? I mean, both ladies don't really have high scoring styles. The fight most likely goes the full 15, and Sosa moves laterally a lot, and she's kind of hard to find. So I see this as being a low scoring fight. Everyone around Sosa is a much better option, because you're paying 9,200 for this woman, and man, just isn't much of a punt either. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, both these ladies are terrible. And when I have a hard time thinking that either one of them is good enough to win the fight, you might even get a draw. So the draw is the worst thing that you never would target a fight that went to a draw unless it was 5 rounds, in DraftKings. So yeah, I mean, that's an easy pass for me.
Well, I didn't talk about it because I'm talking about Sosa for the fighter to fade. Overall, I'm fading I'm fading the Machado Mace fight as a whole. But my fighter to fade is one Ketlin Sosa at 9,200. I think she wins. I actually think she can score kind of decent just because Man's a walking punching bag. But like you said, Weezy, I mean, there's so many better options around her. You have Uroš Medić with a 100% finish rate. You have Jhonata Diniz with a 100% finish rate. You have Ivana Petrovic, who probably finishes Liang Na. You have, Ryan Spann, who probably finishes Bogdan Guskov. You have Ketlin Sosa. I think the fight probably does go the distance. I think she probably does the better work and wins the decision. But at 9,200, they're just much, much better options. So that is my fighter to fade. We'll go to Lou, who is your fighter to fade. I hope I didn't take your thing again.
I'm just going to give you my second on the list, the rest of the show.
Okay, makes sense.
I'm going to say Victor Henry at 9,500. I realize that maybe for cash, if you wanted to play him, I guess, but I don't know how he justifies 9,500 here. That salary is typically reserved for either somebody with tons of grappling equity or tons of early finish equity, and I kind of just don't see it. Monk alluded to a lot of the points that Yahya allows. Yahya is not going to want any part of standing and exchanging with Victor Henry. He's going to want to pull guard. I think Henry's jiu-jitsu is good. I think he may even be tempted to go to the ground, or it's going to be a lot of just stalling. And, Yahya putting his legs up, Henry landed some kicks, tell him to get up, rinse and repeat. Maybe Henry goes to the ground with him in the third round if he thinks Yahya's tired, but I feel like Henry wins this fight by decision more than in the distance. I just don't know how he justifies getting anywhere close to 95 or 100 points in this card.
All right, fading Victor Henry. We'll go to Monk. Which fighter are you fading for this week?
Yeah, we're just kind of playing fade roulette here. I got 3 fighters on my list. You guys name 2 of them. I'll name the other one and barely talk about them because we've already talked about him. Caio Machado. Slight fade at 8,300, so it's not like, I'm blowing the doors off, giving you a big favorite or anything. But yeah, this fight sucks, man. It really sucks. One of these guys humped another guy to death. And so who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be a shit show. So outside of something crazy, I really like some other fighters around there, especially one of them who's priced very incorrectly. So yeah, give me the fade on Mr. Machado here.
Yeah, nothing wrong with fading that. And then I think Weezy, which fighter are you fading?
I was going to go with Michal Figlak this week. I don't want to pay up to 8,400 for a guy that got out wrestled by Fares Siam. And he's on a 1 year and 8 month layoff as well. He could come back looking much improved because he's still young, but still, those are a couple of things that are big red flags where I could find favorites around that price that are a lot more attractive. And Hubbard's a tough out. So I think Figlak most likely wins by decision. I mean, he was more of even a decisionator on the regional scene in Cage Warriors. So a lot more finish equity in the fighters priced around Figlak this week, especially Karine Silva, 100 higher, right above him. So yeah, it's an easy fade for me.
All right. And is my StreamYard not working? There. Yeah. So Gordo's gonna be happy about this. It's UFC St. Louis, and there it is. Buckley's fighting Ruzaboev. Why is it not showing up? Okay, there it is. There it is. Buckley's fighting Ruzaboev. Yeah, that fight's gonna be awesome. Probably the co-main event for that card. It was looking terrible. By the way, the main event I think is isn't it Derek Lewis, Rodrigo Nascimento for St. Louis?
I believe you're right. Yeah.
So
Lewis and Lewis. Yeah.
So that Buckley fight, that Buckley Ruzaboev fight definitely helps that card. So I know Gordo's going to that one. All right, let's keep moving on to the next thing. We have our favorite dog. And for me, I'm kind of struggling with this one because I don't like a ton of dogs this week, but I'm curious to hear what you guys came up with. We'll start with you, Lou, so I don't take your pick, but what do you got for a favorite dog?
Well, I hope I take yours. Let's go Bogdan Guskov here. 7,300. Look, I broke this fight down earlier today with VB. There's a million reasons I'm going to tell you that Spann can win. And still I can't click on Spann here because I just can't trust this guy at almost 2-1 favorite. This is the kind of card where like some mean thing is going to happen. Guskov bonking him or Spann doing something dumb on the ground like he did with Walker, going for some weird mood, and Guskov just kind of lands on top of him by accident, starts pounding him out. At 7,300, I think his money line is round 1 KO. That's about 110, 120 points. I mean, he's going to probably be a pretty popular dog in a fight that's under 1.5 minus 260, but he's kind of a really interesting play at 7,300.
Yeah, I mean, Spann drops the ball time and time again. Spann should absolutely win this fight, which probably means he's probably going to lose. So I like it. Monk, who is your favorite underdog for this week?
Yeah, definitely have NoHo Hank as well on the top of my list. I do like the 5-round underdog a little bit just because it's 5 rounds, but I'll go Tim Means. I briefly touched on him a minute ago, but man, tough as hell, even at 40 years old, really came through for everyone who backed him against Fiallo. A lot of people doubting there. 122 is what he put up after losing 3 straight. Before that, 2 by submission. Probably don't have to worry about the submission here, knock on wood, if you're a Means backer, but probably don't have to worry about that here against Medić too much. And like I mentioned, Medić likes to get messed up in the first round and a half. He likes to get beat up. Likes to get knocked down. At least it was a Semmelsberger that I keep cutting back to. But Means has a chance here, man. Especially if he can out cardio Medić, I think he has a chance. And Means can take a beating as well. So not necessarily what you want to be doing at 40 years old in a fight. But at 7,100, I did mention Medić seemed a bit overpriced, which means we get a good price on Tim Means. So give me the Dirty Bird here at 7,100, one of the cheaper dogs on the card. And even in a decision, I think he has the chance to score decently well. Put up 55 in a decision loss against Max Griffin. So not ideal, but it's not 20.
All right, taking the Dirty Bird. It's not 20. Weezy, what do you like for an underdog?
I also like Tim Means. I mean, this dude scores 3.45 DraftKings points per minute over a huge sample size. He's a busy striker. He mixes in the wrestling. And Medić doesn't have great takedown defense or submission defense. And he's only been knocked out twice, Tim Means, in his 50-fight pro career. So the dude is pretty tough. He's a low-priced guy who scores well, and he has some finish upside. So it feels like a good option this week, especially on a week for me, you guys, that I don't like a lot of these underdogs this week.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of these underdogs either. Like Like I like some, like I think Onama has some serious upside, Guskov, even Austen Lane. But the underdog I'll probably give it's just gonna be Alex Perez, 7,500. He's really cheap, 5 rounds to work with, and I feel like his win conditions gotta be a finish. I don't really think he's gonna be the minute winner here. And when Nicolau is losing fights, he's losing them because of his chin. He's been knocked out 3 times, and although Alex Perez, he doesn't hit that hard. He does hit hard, does have some power, some good leg kicks. So I think a win for Perez does score pretty well. Whether it is that knockout, which I think is probably his win condition, or maybe he does squeak out a decision. And if so, 5 rounds, 7,500. But yeah, there's a lot of underdogs I'll be sprinkling because I think a lot of these guys have some serious upside this week. All right, let's move on to some prize picks then. We'll start with Uncle Weezy. What is your favorite prize picks play of the week?
Yeah, there were a lot of stuff that I was just like pass. But the one I really like this week is Victor Hendry, less than 14.75 minutes of fight time. I don't think that fight is going to decision at all. I think Henry's going to murder this dude. Every time Kyung Ho Kong threw a strike, it hit Yahya in the face, and that includes leg kicks. I mean, I don't even know how the hell this guy gets hit as much as he does, but he does not react well to it. And if there's one guy on the planet that can finish, Victor Hendry with a submission, it's probably Yahya. He could backpack you and maybe get a rear naked choke or something like that. So I think that fight finishes inside the distance. And I think almost all the finishing equity is on the Victor Henry side. I just don't like what I see from Yahya on the feet. And Henry's got really good takedown defense, and he's got a really good grappling game too. So I don't think Yahya is going to be able to lay on him and run clock here. I think Yahya is going to get knocked the fuck out here.
Did you say a leg kick hit him in the face?
Yeah, dude, several of them. I don't know if you saw that. I mean, like, dude, this guy. He's so easy to hit, Brady. His striking it's always been awful, and it's just never gotten any better.
I love it. I've never heard that before, but I like it. All right, I'm going with another under as well. I'm just going to go with the Ivana Petrovic, less than the 9 minutes fight time. It's a Liang Na fight. Liang Na has 26 fights. 23 out of those 26 have finished under 9 minutes. That is 88%. I think she's going to go out there early, look for the early finish, and if she doesn't get it, she's probably going to get finished shortly after there. And yeah, Petrovic is actually a solid finisher, good ground and pound, good submission game. Liang Na has been finished 6 times, 4 by knockout, twice by sub. So I think it's Liang Na in the first round. If not, Petrovic probably catches her shortly after there, or Liang Na quits on the stool. So give me another less there. I'm right there with Weezy in terms of looking for some violence. Monk, what do you like him for prize picks?
Quit on the stool, bro. Talking about your girl like that is, oh my god.
What?
You gotta build confidence in your partner, Brady. You gotta build the confidence.
I'm just realistic.
But that's not gonna help her on. I mean, nothing's gonna help her on Saturday. I guess. Let's be fucking real here. Let's see. I had that one on my list as well. That was my second one. I'm gonna go with what could be a trap. Cue that guy from Star Wars here. Because it was the only takedown prop listed, and that's JSP over 3 takedowns. And it basically comes down to a couple of things here. He's landed over 3 takedowns in 3 of his past 5 fights, and David Onama is A, tough as hell, super tough, and B, has given up 2 takedowns, 3 takedowns, and 8 takedowns in his last 5 fights. So yeah, I think there's a definite possibility that JSP takes Onama down. Onama works back to his feet. And if this fight even gets extended into, like, say, halfway through the second round, maybe early third, I think that 3 number is a number that we're going to be able to easily hit. So outside of 1 takedown and then it's over from JSP, in case like he just flashbacks to Joe Anderson Brito and just goes Hulk mode or something, says never again, something like that. I think we get that 3 number. So give me JSP over 3 takedowns here against a super tough David Onama.
All right, and then Lou, do you have a prize picks play for this week?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't love unders typically for points, but Caio Machado under 76.5 points. I don't know how, unless Mays like tears his ACL. I don't know what path Machado has. He has no grappling equity. He's probably not getting a finish. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know what world he scores unless it's a freak injury, which is possible. Or Dontel Mays just does Dontel Mays things. But I'm just not sure how Machado ever hits that number. In any fight, I don't know how he hits that number.
If Mays falls asleep out there, that's a DQ. That counts as a finish. So you have to bring that into your capping. That's something that I looked into. And yeah, I mean, like, you get disqualified. It's like shitting your pants. You shit your pants, the fight's over. You know, they're like, you're done.
Yeah.
You know,
but he could
let's
fall
get you back.
asleep in
Let's
the
get you
third
back to the
round.
locker room, get you cleaned up. You fall asleep in there. No, man, it's over.
I don't
He could
know.
fall asleep in the second round and get 70 points from Machado, and he still might not hit 76.5 points.
I don't know. Yan Xiaonan fell asleep in that Wei Li fight. It kept going, Weezy. I don't know.
That is
She
a good
was
point.
asleep.
That is a good, very good point. She was definitely asleep. All right. So we did the prize picks. We'll move on to our favorite GPP play, and I will kick this one off. I'm going to go with Jhonata Diniz at 9,000. I like the price tag here. You know, Jhonata Diniz only has 6 professional MMA fights, but kickboxing background. All 6 of those fights have finished inside the distance and have finished in the first round. And he's going against Austen Lane, who, you know, very hittable, has that tall man's defense, doesn't have the chin to back it up. Austen Lane's been finished 4 times, all 4 of those coming in the first round. It just seems like a perfect spot for Diniz to go out there, get this win, and do it violently in the first round. And he's not that expensive. Like, there's multiple fighters that are priced higher than him, and I think Diniz has that first round upside. I struggle to see this fight even going to the second. So give me Jhonata Diniz at 9K. Weezy, what is your favorite GPP play for this week?
GPP, I've got Ryan Spann this week. He scores a little more than 3 DraftKings points per minute, and I think he's better everywhere than Guskov. This is the easiest fight Spann has had since Sam Alvey, and I think he gets a finish in the first 7.5 minutes. The bookies definitely agree. I mean, if you try to get Spann and under 1.5 rounds, you're paying juice for that. So that is a pretty strong indication that this guy, you know, if he does what the bookies say he's going to do, he's going to score triple digits here. And let me, for anybody, just so you know, I do have a statistics degree. Bogdan Guskov inside the distance plus 235. If you bet 1 unit on that, you're going to lose 1 unit. Okay. This guy's awful. He's fucking awful. Don't tell me that, you know, you're going to bet on a guy that because he knocked out Zach Pauga.
Oh.
Okay. Zach Pauga held Jordan Wright up against the fence for 15 minutes because he was scared of getting hit and getting knocked out by the Beverly Hills Ninja. You touch this guy once, he goes down. This is Ryan Spann is not the most durable guy. He makes a lot of bad decisions, but this guy is 6 rungs on the ladder below him. This guy's a white belt. Okay. Spann's going to destroy him. So yeah, I love Spann. Favorite GPP play, triple digits. He's going to make it look easy.
Sounds good. Lou, what is your favorite GPP play?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say it because I don't like Weezy's heresy here against Bogdan Guskov, who, by the way, if Perez pulls a stunt, that's your main event, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
I know.
Spann Guskov is your main event. Dixon gave me a good bet. He said plus 1,000 on DraftKings. Perez to miss weight. Thought that was a nice little prop there. So
That's
I am going to, so I don't want to say this because it's Weezy's boy, but I got to go Jonathan Pierce here at 8,600. I haven't talked about him yet. It's not just that he has tons of takedown equity. Onama's got really good get-ups. His wrestling is only going to get better. He's training at altitude. This could just be JSP mat return after mat return after mat return. This could be 14 takedowns in 3 rounds. Obviously, you worry about him getting bonked. But, man, Pierce could just even if he gets knocked out in the 3rd round, he might put up 60-some points just in takedowns and control. In a win, he's going to fly over the 100-point mark, you'd have to think. He's going to be popular, I'm sure. But I kind of think the field might be overweight to Onama just because of his price tag. But for me, it's JSP. I think any $100,000 lineup probably has to have him in it.
Yeah, I like it. I like JSP quite a bit myself. And by the way, Weezy, He said that Bogdan Guskov is a white belt, which I agree. I agree with you. But I went to his Instagram and this video, you'll never guess. He's getting his brown belt.
Yeah.
Is that in karate?
Look at that.
Oh, is it? No.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding because you can get like a karate brown belt in like 6 months. Like, you know, it's
Wow.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's funny because what happened against Volkan Ozdemir then? You know, because this guy hit the second his ass hit the mat, he was in a rear naked choke and tapping. I mean, like
he learned.
I'm surprised he didn't tap from having that belt wrapped around his waist. Like that's oh my god, it's too tight. I tap, you know, like that.
I thought that was hilarious.
That's what it is.
I thought that was hilarious. I was stalking his Instagram and I came across that. Was not by the way, what
he's at Gore MMA. That's where Walter Walker trains, dude. These guys don't fuck around.
Oof.
Dude, look at the evolution. Just look at him. He's an evolved human being. Weezy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's a
good-looking dude.
Man.
You know?
Just a terrifying
man. Look at him. He like sports, the outdoors.
Look, I mean, this is a Renaissance man.
A nice
true Renaissance man.
That's a nice speech there.
Probably enjoying a nice look at this guy. He's fighting invisible enemies we can't even see.
Wow.
He's gonna have a nice Svedka vodka after that too.
That is
Where is Gore MMA, by the way? Is that
just like us, man?
Is that a Russian
winner? Winner. Go back. Wait. Winner. Yes.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, it's a Russian gym, I believe.
Can't
a Russian gym? Okay.
Him, man.
What is this?
It's the Sphere.
What's he doing? What's he doing?
He's doing a little Yuri Prohashka, man. Everybody, when Yuri did this, everybody's like, oh, it's cool. When Bogdan does it, it's like, what's he fucking doing?
So Bogdan did it first.
Like he's got
Bogdan did it first, bro. Bogdan, the true samurai.
Really likes
the basketball because he's going to get slept on Saturday, man.
He's just like us, bro. People's champ.
Very interesting guy.
Bucket hat. Come on, man.
Dude, this guy is the doctor of style.
Fanny pack, bucket hat. What is there not to like?
That? Oh,
I mean, look at that.
Oh gosh.
The perfect selfie angles, everyone knows, from below, looking down. Everyone knows that's the best.
Oh God. Strickland, him and Strickland.
Multiple bucket hats. I mean, come on.
Is he? What's this here?
I don't know. One said I have a very beautiful face. Who can argue?
Imagine seeing that in person.
Dude, imagine seeing that. I mean, this is the post-USADA era, guys. I mean, this is top-notch Bogdan here. That should be his nickname.
I gotta thank you.
Top
notch. We'll have 3.5 minutes of conditioning instead of 3.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, Lou?
This is the first time I've been on a show with any of you guys where I wasn't the reason it went off the rails. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you very much. This finally wasn't on me.
I was just so distracted. I mean, that is
I'm telling you, he's distracting. He's a distracting guy.
Very distracting guy. So let's get back to it then. Has everybody given their GPP play?
No, I think I am left. And I'm surprised no one's taking this guy, but I'll do my job as the numbers guy. And give you the guy who is taking a short notice replacement who should be priced at 9,300, who's now 8,200 in James Lontop, maybe Yontop. I don't know. I suppose it depends on your dialect there. But we'll call him Lontop. But yeah, newcomer to the UFC, has more fights than a lot of newcomers we've seen. I think one guy on this card has like 6 fights. We've seen a ton of guys with less than 10. He's got 16 fights. 14-2 overall. Did have a DWCS fight in which he went to decision and did score 112 points, 2 knockdowns, and almost 50% control time, landing just under 5 strikes per minute. So fighting a guy, Chris Padilla, awesome nickname, and Taco. I mean, how do you not like that? But he has, let's see, a ton of fights, 19 pro fights, but no Dana White Contender Series fights or anything. Super short notice. I'm assuming Lontop gets it done here. And like I said, just because of the math and the implied value that we're getting with the 8,200 salary, getting $1,100 savings off the top. So that's pretty much an automatic play at this point.
Yep, I'll be talking about Jhonata in a little bit here. But first, we're going to talk about our favorite cash play. And we'll start with Lou. Who are you liking for cash this week?
Well, it's different categories, so I can say exactly what Monk just said. I like Top for cash a lot. I don't think he's like that great. I think the line's accurate with Taco Padilla coming on short notice. I watched enough Padilla to know that I think Pepe compared him to Darian Weeks. I think that's a pretty apt comparison in the way he fights. Kind of stays out of trouble. He's low volume. I don't know. I'm not super impressed with Top. He could get a finish because of the short notice, but I honestly think if he doesn't, he wins a very clear decision. He could get some takedowns here too. I think he probably gets 85, 90 points safely. I actually like him more to win than Victor Henry. I just think Yahya could actually get like a sneaky, weird finish. I don't think Padilla has any chance to win this fight. So I like Top. He's pretty safe for cash. And more importantly, you save a lot of money in a cash lineup at 8,200.
Yeah, I mean, he's the second biggest favorite on the card right now, right behind Ivana Petrovic. He's minus 450.
Discount.
Yeah, big discount. And by the way, Monk, what do you think of the nickname Taco? Is that you like it or no?
I think it's good. I think it's fantastic. I mean, that's like a Cheeto where you could just dump the first name altogether. Like, who's Chris Padilla? Oh, Taco Padilla? Yeah, I know that guy. So anytime that happens, it's automatic win in my book.
I like it too. But Monk, what is your favorite cash play?
Cash play. Matheus Nicolau going to be at 8,700 mid-range salary here. And as I said before, I think this one goes 5 rounds. I think Nicolau's probably a bit better everywhere. We definitely want to see what Perez looks like on the scale, but he had no problem, I believe, against Muhammad Mokaev. We all said the same exact thing because he's got obviously a history there. So I want to see the scale, but either way, I'm liking Nicolau here. Scores just under 3 points a minute overall in his last 5 fights, 3.4 in his whole UFC career. Allows less than 2, which is actually the second best number on the entire card. It looks like Karine Silva 3, and we're not even going to count James Lontop, who's technically 1. But that was a DWCS fight. So, yeah, he's allowing less than 2 at distance and inside the distance. Meanwhile, 4.5 points a minute inside the distance there. 1.5 takedowns landed per minute with is this right? 93% takedown defense, 80% grappling time control. So that's a lot of stats in his favor against a guy that also surprisingly does score well in Alex Perez. But his defense is definitely going to get tested here. And in a 5-round fight, even if it goes to decision, Nicolau could put up a good score here. So 8,700, I'm going to take that chance on the main event A side.
All right. And Weezy, who's your favorite cash play?
Cash play this week, I'm going to go with Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week, Jhonata Diniz. He's the way better striker, and I think this winds up being a striking match. Lane has been knocked out in all 4 of his pro losses, and this one's going to be the 5th. Jhonata, first-round knockout. He scores triple digits. And I think he makes it look pretty easy. You know, when I was deciding between Spann and Diniz for the ass shaving of the week, one of the things I ask is, you know, well, how does their opponent win the fight? And with Guskov, you know, the guy's legitimately dangerous. I mean, if he hits you, you know, you're probably going down. But with Lane, I mean, like, you think about the guys that Diniz has been in there kickboxing with. And now he's going to fight Austen Lane, you know, who's been knocked out by bums, you know. So I think that this is just there's a massive chasm between these two in distance striking ability and danger. And that's in favor of Diniz. I think he's going to make this look easy.
Yep, I like it. For me, I'm just going to go with Jonathan Pierce because I got to talk about Pierce. He's 8,600, which, you know, I think he has some of the best upside on the card. I think Lou mentioned it. Like David Onama, his takedown defense is not great, you know, 45%, but he does have a good get-up game, which it should only lead to more and more Pierce takedowns. Like I could see a scenario where he does go out there and get, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 takedowns if need be. We saw Mason Jones go out there and get 8 takedowns, which that's not really Jones's game. Pierce is averaging over 5 takedowns per 15 minutes with a pretty decent sized sample. I like the volume, the cardio, the pace of Pierce, and I think in a win he scores very, very well. I do have some concerns. Like I think if Onama is able to stuff some takedowns, land a big shot early, maybe it could be a quick night for Pierce. But if he does win this fight, I think he scores very, very good. So liking Pierce really in all formats, but cash as well. All right, let's go to our favorite value play, and I'm going to talk about somebody that we've all talked about thus far. It's going to be James Jhonata at 8,200, and yeah, he's a clear value play for me because he should probably be priced up with Petrovic and Victor Henry at his price tag. And just refreshing, and he is still currently the second biggest favorite on the card, right behind Petrovic. And I went back and watched some of Jhonata's fights prior to the show here, and I was impressed with his performance against Malik Lewis. Surprised he wasn't able to finish him, but he hurt him like 5 or 6 times in that fight. I think he officially dropped him twice, but he rocked him at the end of the first round. He hurt him to the body twice in the second round. And yeah, I like the volume of Jhonata. He's coming in here with a full camp, whereas his opponent Taco's coming in here on short notice. So I think with the volume, the aggressiveness, maybe get to finish. But if it does go 15, even at 8,200, it's hard to ignore Jhonata this week. And he's going to be very popular, but for a very good reason. He's a massive favorite at a cheap price tag. Weezy, who is your favorite value play for this week?
It's Jonathan Pierce. He's an elite DraftKings player, 5.56 DraftKings points per minute, and Onama allows 4.52. So, I mean, Pierce scores massively, and Onama is just a sieve in terms of allowing DraftKings points per minute to his opponents. So, Pierce wrestles nonstop. Onama has sub 50% takedown defense. Love this spot for JSP, and he's only 8,700. So, you got to have him in your lineup.
Yep. Makes sense. I mean, in a win, I think he scores 1,000,000 points. Lou, what do you like for some value this week?
I'm going to go a little strange with this one, but I like Ariane Lipski at 7,700. I know that a lot of people are big on the Korean Silva side. They think she just gets one takedown, the fight's over. There's a couple of things that I would argue against here. Number one is Lipski's takedown defense is improving. Number two is I don't love Karine Silva's wrestling. Once she gets somebody on the ground, that's a different story. But I don't love her entries. And if this fight does get extended past the first round, I think Lipski's going to take over. I think on the feet, she's a way better boxer. She's mean. She's vicious. She has finishing equity. And I also think that makes it a good value for me is that Karine Silva is going to be a super popular play. So if Lipski does get her out of there in the second or third round, you've eliminated a lot of the field having the Lipski side. So I do think in a win, she probably I like this fight to go under, period. If she does win, it would be late first, second round, maybe even early third. She's getting a couple of knockdowns in there, maybe even some grappling on her own if Silva's gaffed. So I like a lot of things on the Lipski side here. And I really like it as value because you're going against the field contrarian to Silva, who I think will be super popular.
Yeah, I'm shocked. That's the first time I think we talked about that fight. It just shows you how underrated this card is, because I think that's a great fight to target as a whole. You got Silva with a 100% finish rate, and like Lou said, if this fight gets extended, Lipski's very, very live past round one. All right, and then I think Monk, who are you liking for some value this week?
I'll give you an underdog we also haven't talked about. It's going to be Gabriel Benitez against Mr. Mahashate, who's done, basically, well, at least outside the Steve Garcia fight, which lasted a minute, has done basically nothing but give up points, almost 6 points a minute so far in his UFC career. When he's losing, he's getting finished. Well, I guess he got finished by Slava Claus and a decision by Garcia, but gave up a ton of points. Looks like I don't even know where did it go? 115 and a half on average in his 2 losses so far. So doesn't seem to have much of a takedown threat, obviously. So we're just trying to avoid some strikes here. If Benitez can get his game going at all, I think he has an okay shot, to get the win, especially if Mahashate is still a bit underprepared like he's looked in his last 2 fights. So could be a step down, especially when you look at, the 10-year age gap. But hey, as we've said week after week, USADA's gone, and that shit is a 35-year-old's best friend. So yeah, who knows what Gabriel's going to look like here. I think he's worth a shot, even though he's only beat, and this hurts to say out loud, Charlie Ontiveros and Justin James in his last 5 fights. But at 7,400, I think it's worth a shot here against the untrustworthy Mahashate.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised, but that's the first time we talked about that fight as well. Another fight that's, I think it's like minus 250 to end inside the distance. So we got Marcus Williams in the building, enjoying the show. What is up, Marcus? We got Altu, Byron. He says, you already know I'm on that indica tonight, but this Dave dude has been legit for me. Cheshire Funk has bad mouth him, but it's all blessed, no stress. I love the stream and nerd talk. I'm off my ankle monitor.
Hell yeah.
I remember my first beer.
I love Dave too. And I hate ankle monitors.
Yeah.
Yep.
So appreciate that, Byron.
Yeah, yay.
Yeah. Okay, get that off this screen. Okay. Moving on. We got our favorite dart throw, and we'll start with our Uncle Weezy. What do you like for a dart throw this week?
Taco. I mean, why not, right? I mean, like, because everybody's going to be on Jhonata. Jhonata's okay. He's okay. He's probably correctly priced at 8,200 here. This guy, Taco, he's kind of been around. He's fought some decent competition. But you know, the short notice obviously scares me a little bit. But I mean, when you're talking about a dart throw, you're talking about a low-owned guy that's got a path, and this dude wrestles. So, I mean, if he wrestles, he gets takedowns, you know, he could potentially score some points even in a loss. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's a pretty decent dart throw for this week.
Yeah, on top of, if he wins, it's going to eliminate like 65% of the field. Like everybody's going to be on top.
Yeah, it's not a cash lineup play though.
No, definitely a dart throw. But makes sense. Lou, who you like it for a dart throw this week?
I gotta do it, Brady. I gotta go, Liang. Nah, for the dart throw. Come on, man. Under 7,000. Her win condition. Well, she hasn't won yet, but we're assuming her win condition is round one finish. It's clear she's going to go for takedowns until she has no energy. I don't think Petrovic is anything special. I don't think her grappling's anything special. And I don't think we don't know how she's going to fight off her back against a Savage who is fighting for her job, Brady. Let's go. And also, I was Instagramming her. I don't know if that's how you say it. I was in her DMs on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
And she said, I watched Brady's video and he said, I spent $20 on this wig and I would hate for this to be the last time that he wears the wig.
Yeah,
he said that.
Exactly.
It's a true story
Awesome.
I just made up.
I was going to say, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I need to get some more value out of that wig. I've worn it a fair share of times, but you'd like to be able to.
You cracked the Billboard's top 100. That's fucking value, bro.
Yeah.
Did she have a fight canceled?
Maybe. I forget.
So that would have been $5 a week that you got to wear the wig. That's pretty good, dude.
It's decent. Put that a lot of content. Yeah, for me, it's Liang Na as well. 19 wins, 18 of them are in round one. Like, it's hard to imagine her winning literally any other way. And I think she actually showed some solid things against JJ Aldrich. She's able to get a couple takedowns, which isn't easy to do against Aldrich. And maybe she does get Petrovic down. And if she does, she's dangerous. Submission game, ground and pound. But again, it's only for a couple minutes. But yeah, definition of a dart throw. If she wins, it's going to be early and it's going to score very well. We got Boston Nick in the building. What is up, Boston Nick? Saying smash a like. I agree. Smash that like. And Jessica, I see your comment in the chat. I will start. We'll get to all the questions in a little bit here. All right. Weezy, who are you liking as a dart? We already talked about yours. Monk, who are you liking as a dart throw?
Yeah, definitely had Nali Young on there, but I was gonna let you take her to prom, Brady, but Lou had to jump out there. Give me Hani Yahya, I guess. Why not, man? Last time we saw him, USADA was a thing. And like I said, these old guys, what's better for an old guy than a whole shitload of testosterone and shit? So yeah, give me Hani Yahya. It's not like he magically learned to strike, but maybe something crazy will happen, and maybe he can like Eddie Guerrero style kick Henry right in the balls while the ref's not looking, and something crazy can happen. Grab an armbar or a leg lock or something like that. So hell, why not? At the cheapest salary on the board, I think it's an obvious dart throw. Hani Yahya, not likely he's going to win, but hey, he's 2-2-1 in his last 5, guys. So anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Anything's possible. Anything at all. But all right, so we got our dart throws. We're going to go over the results from last week. And again, if you guys have any questions in the chat, I do have 9 starred here, which is a good amount of questions. Very, very pleased with that. We'll get to those in a second. But 2 weeks ago, we had UFC 300. And in last place, unfortunately, Weezy's hot streak comes to an end. And boy, was he hot. I think he won like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. But he had Zhang Weili, who scored 155. Jalen Turner, who scored 16. Should have scored like 100 and something, but only 16. Arman Sarukian with 85. Jamal Hill with 4. And Yusuf with 0. And Holloway with 122. Weezy scored 385.21. In third place was Gordo. He had Bo Nickel, 108, Zhang Weili, 155, Justin Gaethje, 41, Jim Miller, 23, Charles Oliveira, 19, and Max Holloway, 122. Gordo scored 470.86. In second place was myself, Bo Nickel, 108, Zhang Weili, 155, Diego Lopez, 122, Jamal Hill, 4, Oliveira, 19, Max Holloway, 122, scored 533.45, and the man in first place with a really good lineup. Kayla Harrison, Monk had Kayla Harrison, 112, Zhang Weili, 155, Sarukian, 85, Alex Perez, 109, Max Holloway, 122, and Cody Garbrandt with 6. Monk, you scored 592.35. Congrats, you got first place for UFC 300.
Big card. It'll go down etched in history, just like the actual event will. Seems like a dream within a dream. It was just 2 short weeks ago, but man, what a card it was. Happy with the lineup. Cody Garbrandt kind of shit the bed there, but what do we expect? 5 out of 6 ain't bad.
Yeah, that was very, very good lineup there.
Optimal was like 760, so something ridiculous.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. There were some big scores. Zhang Weili, Max Holloway, Bo Nickel. There were some big scores for 300, that's for sure.
And some
All
zeros
right.
and ones, which is crazy.
I know.
Like, it's crazy.
I know. Let's see here. All right, so we are 13 cards in. In fourth place, we have Monk with 5,138. Third place is Weezy with 5,199. Second place is Gordo with 5,277. First place is myself with 5,483. We got Gordo 205 behind me, Weezy 283 behind me, and then Monk 344 behind me. So 13 cards in, plenty more to go. All right, lineups for this week, and then we'll get to some questions. We'll start with our Uncle Weezy. Do you have your lineup ready for this week? Oh boy, rookie mistake.
Right. Yeah, huge mistake. Okay, but here's what I'm going with for this week. I don't love it. There could be a change coming, but we're going with Ryan Spann and Jhonata Diniz up top. I like those spots. Matheus Nicolau and JSP Pierce. And then we're going to have for the underdogs, it's going to be Ariane Lipski and Tim Means.
All right, we have 3 the same. Lou, what do you got for this week?
Oh, Weezy and I are in like direct competition on these lineups. So I'm from top to bottom. Uroš Medić at 9,100. Diniz at 9,000. JSP 8,600. Karine Silva 8,500, Alex Perez 7,500, and the pride of I'm not sure where, Bogdan Guskov at 7,300. 50K on the nose for this one.
All right, I think mine's 50K on the nose too. So I'm going up top. I have who the heck do I have? Uroš Medić up top. I have Ryan Spann as well. Actually, no, screw that. I'm going Jhonata Diniz, 9,000. I'm going Ryan Spann, 8,900. Going JSP, 8,600. I'm going with Matheus Nicolau, 8,200. And then I'm going with Karine Silva, 8,500. And I like all of those 5. But to make it work, I have to play Liang Na, actually, 6,800. I think that it comes out to 50,000 there. So
I'll take with grab juice.
Go with there. And then Monk, what do you got?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys were letting me call him fucking James Lontop, and his name's Yamez Yontop this whole time. Like, I won't forget that. Victor Henry, we're gonna go with Matheus Nicolau. We're gonna go JSP, Yamez Yontop, Alex Perez, and wait, this isn't right. Hold on here. Just 1 second. I changed this. That's old. Sorry. Start over. Rewind. Ivana Petrovic, Matheus Nicolau, JSP, James Yontop, Alex Perez. So we're stacking the main. And then Mowgli, Gabriel Benitez down at the bottom.
All right. Sounds good to me. I originally had Ronnie Yahya and Uroš Medić, but I happily changed to my girl Liang Na and Diniz. So I like that change on the spot. Shout out to Boston. Nick saying, here's the link for the memberships. You guys want to support Pub Sports Radio. This is a great way to do so. We got Stacks as a member as well. He's been a member for 3 months and saying Silva Pierce unit on each for money. And I like both those to go out there and win. All right. So what we'll do now is we're going to get to some questions in the chat. I have a good amount starred here. Let's go to how trustworthy is David Onama's takedown defense? Not that great. He did go up a weight class and took on Mason Jones, but still, I mean, Mason Jones shouldn't be taking you down 8 times, so I'd say not that trustworthy. And we got this one for Lou Betya. He's saying, is that the pride of Pennsylvania, Lou Betya?
I think Mushroom is the pride of Pennsylvania. I'm just the I'm his you know, the guy that he knows. I'm the pride of the burbs. How about that?
There we go. Why is the Liang Na under at plus money? Your guess is as good as mine. I wouldn't be betting an over in a Liang Na fight. That's for sure. This one can go to the panel. Do you guys think Ilia Topuria will still be the champ by the end of the year? Did they say if they were officially running back Topuria Volk, or is that they're doing something else?
God, they can't do that, right?
That's what they were saying. They were saying Volk deserves a rematch, yada yada.
He does deserve a rematch. The guy's lost one fucking fight at 145 pounds. You know,
probably true.
He does.
So how many fights do you think he will have this year? Because I think he's probably only going to fight once.
Yeah, maybe once.
He seems to want to stall a little bit. So
yep.
Yeah,
I'll say
what
yeah.
they're going to do, but I mean, I think he probably will be.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'll say yeah.
He also may try to move up and pull go for a double belt situation, which just stalls the division and keeps him as the champion.
Yeah.
Agreed. I'd say yes. Is $380 worth it for a UFC 302 ticket? Probably not.
I can answer this one. Can I answer this one? No, but I did it anyway.
Where is it?
Newark.
Oh,
okay.
God. I hear Newark
so
is
it
lovely
it?
this
No,
time of year.
Anyway, it's a pay-per-view.
You said you heard Newark's lovely. Is that sarcastic?
This time of year, you know, like in the spring when the light hits the warehouses and the blight just
and the
right.
bricks. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Brick City, stand up.
Brady, you know, like the one bad block within 30 miles of where you live?
Yeah.
Imagine it's 10 square miles. That's Newark.
Jeez. Sounds dangerous. Sounds very dangerous. I will not be going. I wanted to go to UFC 303 International Fight Week, and I'm still probably going to go, but currently, like, the cheapest price was, no joke, it said like $1,000 for the cheapest.
We got tickets as soon as it opened. I'm like, I don't want to miss this one. I just get the ticket now.
Yeah, these ticket prices have been stupid lately. Just stupid prices. But if you want to go, you got to pay. Let's see. We got this one can go to the panel. There it is. What's going on, StreamYard? Let's pull up my stuff on time so I don't look like an idiot. Just tuning in. Do y'all think Medić will finish Means? I do, but I think some people on this panel might be on Means.
I'm kind of on Means. I'm picking Medić to win, and I'm picking them to win inside the distance. But I think both guys are live for a finish here. Obviously, sort of the bookies, but yeah, this is gonna be a violent fight.
My heart wants Means to win, but yeah, this one's got probably finished inside the distance. Like I said, tons of his fights have finished inside, and Medić has never been to a judge's scorecard. So, and I probably lead Medić over Means. Good question.
It's a very good question.
I think if Medić wins, it's by finish.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But if this thing goes the distance, he probably got vet lessened. So
could be.
He's never won. He's never won a decision.
Never been. All right. Let's see. Question. hypothetically speaking, if Brady and Liang Na had a baby, do you guys think it would be tall like Yao Ming? What the heck kind of question
Yeah,
is
Yao
that?
Ming's 7 feet tall.
That's pretty
so-
tall, bro. That's pretty tall.
That's a
Yeah, I
great
don't think
guess.
so. I think the odds are against it.
I would never have a baby with Liang Na. It sounds terrible. Sounds horrible. Moving on. Do you guys like the new nickname of Matheus Papa Nicolau in honor of the Papa Nicolau test, commonly known as?
That's why you got to read ahead.
Yeah, you're like Ron Burgundy, dude. You got to read one line ahead, man.
I always think of Naked Gun though. Whenever I see that, Pepschmew.
Gosh. Why are these comments? StreamYard. Okay. Yeah, me, Nick, and Danny went to Miami back in like the COVID era, and we were at a gas station, and this like lady threatened to stab some homeless guy because the homeless guy was talking. It was like right in front of us. It's kind of terrifying. So yeah, Miami is very terrifying, especially at night. But from the sounds of it, doesn't sound like it's as bad as Newark at all. Yeah. 100%. All right. Anyway, quick picks, and then we will head out. We'll start with our Uncle Weezy. Weezy, what are your quick picks for UFC Vegas 91?
All right, they are. It's not showing here. 13 of 13 picked. Let's see. Moved on to the next one here. It's not showing up for some reason.
All right. Lou, what are your quick picks for UFC Vegas 91?
You go top to bottom or bottom to top?
Monk, what do we do? I forget.
Top to bottom.
Wait, Monk, are you single? Jessica.
I signed an NDA. Can't talk about it.
Find out more about his dating life tomorrow at midnight.
Oh,
on the Happy
you're the
Hour.
best. That's why you're the best.
Perez decision. I gotta go Guskov round 1 KO for the meme. Karine Silva round 1 KO, not submission. Diniz round 1 KO. JSP decision. Uroš Medić round 2 submission. Victor Henry decision. Figlak decision. Dontel Mays draw. Yambag draw. Souza decision. Lontop decision. Petrovic round 2 submission. Sorry, Brady. And Mahashate round 3 KO.
All right. Monk, what do you got for some quick picks?
Tomorrow might be boring, Lou. We agreed on 12 of 13 picks, almost the method too. So we like that. We're gonna go Nicolau decision. Also for the memes, Guskov KO round 1. We're gonna go Silva also KO round 2. Diniz KO 2. Pierce sub 2 rear naked choke. Medić KO 3. Henry decision, Figlak decision, Machado, God, Jesus, decision. He probably scores 16 points somehow. DraftKings will change their scoring just for this fight. Souza decision, Yontop KO 1, Petrovic KO 2, and Benitez is the only pick we differed on there. Decision.
All right. For me, I'm going Nicolau decision, Spann sub 1, guillotine, Silva sub 1, Darce club and sub. Diniz KO 1, Pierce sub 2, rear naked choke, Medić KO 1, Henry decision, Hubbard decision, Machado decision, Souza decision, Yontop decision, Petrovic KO 2, and Mahashate KO 2. Weezy, did they pull up?
Yeah, they did. So we got Nicolau submission round 2, Ryan Spann submission round 1. Ariane Lipski by decision, even though I bet Karine Silva to win in rounds 1 and 2. Diniz KO round 1. That's your Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week. JSP by decision. Uroš Medić round 2 submission. Hendry KO 2. Figlak decision. Dontel Mays by decision is your Bootsy Collins Memorial Dogs Are Barking pick of the week. Ketlin Sosa by decision. Jimmy Yontop by decision. Ivana Petrovic by second round ground and pound knockout. And Mahashate Sayer, second round KO.
That was a very impressive pronunciation for the Machado's last name. I couldn't do it.
I don't know if that was correct or not, but
It sounded good.
There's only one way to find out, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bird MMA. There's only one way to know if it's right.
You're going for the tune into the midnight happy hour. I thought you were going for the trifecta plug.
Gabriel Benitez against Mahashate.
all right. It was a fun show. We're gonna kick it around. Weezy, let the people know. Let them know what's up.
Yeah, so I think I'm done for the week. I'm working on the stats for the UFC 301 card coming up in a week and a half. So going to start on that tonight. You can find me on my YouTube channel doing the greasy 4-leg parlay. We're going to try to make it 2 in a row this week. Uncle Weezy, that's the name of the YouTube channel. You can find me right here on Pub Sports Radio 3 times a week. Stat Diggers on Sunday, DFS show on Wednesday, watch along on Saturday. You can find me on the MMA Engine YouTube channel, and you can find me bathing in the blood of my vanquished DraftKings enemies pretty damn near every single week except for last week. And you can also find me right here stacking cash tickets like flapjacks for UFC Vegas 91. Let's get it.
Let's do it. Lou, let them know.
Yeah, so follow this Twitter account. It's my administrative assistant's account. He, channels my verbiage throughout the land. Instead of talking about MMA content right now, aside from my usual stuff I'll do next week, I will be putting out a video about the Kentucky Derby next Saturday. I'll go through my capping process, what I like. Hopefully I'm going to go 4 race. I hit every race last year in a miracle, but I got a better process. I'm seeing the board clearer now. I think I know what I'm doing for this race. Just waiting for the pole positions, but I'll be putting out at least one video for the ponies midweek next week with my picks and analysis. And it's not like you're beating a line. You get whatever the line closes out on Saturday. So it doesn't really matter when I put the video out or when you put the bet in.
Cool. I know last year you killed the Derby, right?
All 3. I hit all 3 races. I hit a trifecta and a superfecta, and I hit all 3 winners outright.
Legend.
So, let's do it again.
Yeah.
All right, Monk, let the people know what is up.
Legend. Well, I was gonna be recording Bankroll or Bust, the world's first MMA betting game show, right after this show, but props are not out, so we cannot do that. We might do it tomorrow, but the NFL draft is kind of messing with that a little bit. So we might just come back for 301. I haven't decided yet. It just depends on the draft and whatnot. So look out for that. Otherwise, midnight happy hour, of course, Thursdays, 11 p.m. Me and Lou having a blast with this fantastic card. So yeah, let's get into it.
Heck yeah. Thank you all for hanging out. Like here, subscribe here as well. And next week we have a pay-per-view. It feels like we just had a pay-per-view, but another one, 301. Doesn't really feel like a pay-per-view, but it is. It's Steve Erceg versus who is it? Oh, who is it? Pantoja. Yeah. Never thought I'd see Steve Erceg in a title fight, but we are going to see it, and we're going to talk about it next week. But yeah, best of luck this week. Should be a fun card, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. See you later.